fan I've ever seen ringside over there.
We've got about a 3-month-old here, ready to take on some of the action. Red corner came right out of the stare down, looking intense. He had a mean look in his eye, and we're seeing that play out right now. These guys are getting right to it. My goodness.
Is it me, or has the southpaw straight left, excuse me, the straight left hand been just the punch of the night?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of, I think about 3 of the matchups so far have been southpaw and orthodox matchups, and a lot of these matchups have unfortunately seen some low blows.
Well, that kind of is what you had mentioned. I mean, it just lines it up, but yeah, that's it's got the excitement factor there. You know, they both came in, but whew, wow.
Especially both being debut fighters, you're going to see them have a lot of excitement here in that first round. If it makes it to a second round, which not many of our fights have so far,
I know.
We'll see those.
But I have
pace
to,
slow
the
down.
only thing that concerns me a little bit there is I could see both guys punch flexing, which is, you know, I mean, just
it's exhausting.
It's
flexing and tense the whole time. It's going to definitely take its toll later.
And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, you know, if that matters. So we'll see if they get past that. But as much as we can critique that, that can win the fight for you. So you have to be prepared for it.
Swinging a big rear kick there. Got to set up with the hands a little bit first.
And the best setup for that kick would be the opposite hook, right?
Yep, either straight jabs or lead hook coming around.
Beautiful overhand right. Now, look at that.
Kraft with a beautiful right hand dropping his opponent.
Bam!
He's got his eyes locked on him now.
I got to point out that Leopoldo has still
intense
in the anger, not maybe frustration, but the flexing, I'm calling it, that the exertion that he's putting, that you just can't carry on.
I was going to say, maintaining that demeanor even can get exhausted. And it seems like he might be holding his breath a little bit too on these shots. His nose is bleeding. He cracked him real good with that right hand. Did blue corner.
And very nice. Good head movement there. That's a very good point you make, and I just think that that's something that maybe we'll see how it pans out, but he needs to work on a little bit there, just calming that down a little bit, and flowing.
Coué is definitely showing his right hand now. That punch has landed, and he is showing it before he throws it a lot. Yep.
Kraft is showing his craft there.
Great jab.
I have to say, I give Leopoldo credit though. He's still moving. You know,
the knockdown didn't deter him from that forward pressure and aggression he was showing, but that round definitely goes to Mr. Kraft in the blue corner.
No doubt on that. And my concern was that Leopoldo was angered by that, and you know, you can't. That's gonna again drain you and potentially. It looked like he was walking in to make a mistake, but he kept it together. So
he composed it, and it seemed like towards the end a little bit. Coué out of the blue corner, his cardio was dipping just a little bit, whereas Luis Leopoldo was keeping that intensity up even through the knockdown. That round definitely went to Coué, but it'll be interesting to see how the momentum goes in the second round and who's got a little bit more gas in the tank. Both guys' first fight.
Yes, I always bring it back to Dan Henderson, you know, who would say, "Hey, I took that round off," you know, and it was one of the funniest quotes. But you know, whether it's MMA, whether it's kickboxing, doesn't matter. You know, there are times where you are saying, "Hey, I'm getting my breath, you know, getting my bearings." So that could have been what we were looking at there. But
I see some controlled rests there.
You got to know when the time to do that is and when it's not. So here we are, round 2, Gut Check Promotions. What night of action here tonight? My name is Brian Palker here with Jeff Knapp, coming off a big win himself, and there's a big kick.
And he set up that kick, and it touched the target there. I like to see when he sets up his kicks, they seem to get to the target much better.
And you were right, having that jab, then the kick, that kind of marks it a little bit. And another example of us, you know, the shorter of the two, having to, you know, maybe use an overhand, but that's good cover that he did there. You know, I just don't quite know
Good
the
job
breathing.
getting right back to center, and I do like. It seems like the frantic movements of Luis is kind of troubling Kraft.
And I'm a big fan of that.
Yep, but like you said, a lot more feints, a lot of movements you're not sure if you need to react to because they're a danger or if they're a feint that's setting up the danger coming.
Nice body shot there. Disrupt the friendly fire, you know? because that's not what this is. This is you fighting to win.
And Luis Lopalo does not accept taking any shots.
Now what?
That was a slip. I believe he kicked the front leg there and just dropped him off balance. It wasn't an actual knockdown there.
I was going to say, please
slip.
clarify how that could have been a knockdown. We're heavy breathing.
Yep, and big swings again. He set up a couple of those kicks and they're landing well.
Is the tide turning?
Again, Luis Lopolo's pressure has not dipped from the start of the fight to after the knockdown. He's got the same demeanor, the same pace.
And this is what blows my mind. He is able to go at this pace and almost like you mentioned, holding his breath at times.
I'd like to see Correa get back on that jab a little bit. Southpaw jab will get down there, but he's letting Luis come in at will whenever he wants. You got to give him a reason not to come forward. I'd like to see the right jab. Oh, after the bell. That's bad. That's upsetting. That'll change the fight right there, and it was 100%